Assassin's Creed Origins is a masterclass in reinventing a franchise without losing its core identity. Set in ancient Egypt, this installment marks a turning point for the series, embracing an RPG-style progression that elevates the experience. As Bayek, you explore the vast open world of Egypt, from the bustling streets of Alexandria to the sands of the Great Pyramids. The attention to detail is staggering. The architecture, wildlife, and even the day-night cycle are meticulously crafted to immerse you fully in this historical setting. The combat system is significantly upgraded, offering a more fluid, dynamic experience compared to previous entries. Instead of the traditional counter-heavy mechanics, you'll find yourself strategizing your attacks, dodges, and use of special abilities in fast-paced, action-packed sequences. The leveling system and skill trees add a rewarding layer of depth, allowing players to tailor Bayek's abilities to their playstyle. But it's not just about combat. The story is deeply personal, with Bayek's quest for vengeance driving the narrative forward. As you uncover the origins of the Assassin Brotherhood, you'll be treated to rich storytelling and unforgettable characters. The side quests are also among the best in the series, offering more than just fetch tasks. They're engaging stories in their own right. In short, Assassin's Creed Origins is a bold reinvention that blends a rich, historically inspired world with RPG mechanics, making it a must-play for any fan of open-world games or history lovers. Ghost of Tsushima is a breathtaking masterpiece that perfectly balances an open-world action-adventure with a poignant narrative. Set in feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima Island, the game puts you in the shoes of Jin Sakai, a samurai torn between tradition and the need to adapt to a new way of warfare in order to protect his home. The story is deeply rooted in samurai culture, exploring themes of honor, sacrifice, and the personal cost of war. The world of Tsushima itself is a stunning playground, with sprawling landscapes that range from lush forests to towering mountains and villages under siege. The attention to detail in the environment is remarkable, from the swaying bamboo groves to the wind guiding you to your next objective. Combat in Ghost of Tsushima is one of its standout features. The samurai combat is fluid, satisfying, and tactical, with multiple stances to master, each offering a unique advantage against different types of enemies. The battles require you to think on your feet. The katana fights are a mix of precision and skill, making each duel feel like a dance of death. For those who prefer a more stealthy approach, the game allows you to become a ghost, using tactics like distraction, poison, and stealth kills to silently take down enemies. The narrative and characters are deeply compelling, with Jin's internal struggle between maintaining his samurai honor and embracing the more brutal guerrilla-style tactics of the Ghost, making for an engaging and emotional journey. Side quests, too, are incredibly well-crafted, often delving into the stories of Jin's allies and the people of Tsushima, further enriching the experience. Ghost of Tsushima is more than just an action game. It's a love letter to samurai cinema, with a gorgeous world and deeply rewarding gameplay. Whether you're drawn in by the stunning visuals, the deep combat mechanics, or the emotional narrative, it's an unforgettable experience that every gamer should experience. Ghost of Tsushima is more than just an action game. It's a love letter to samurai cinema, with a gorgeous world and deeply rewarding gameplay. Whether you're drawn in by the stunning visuals, the deep combat mechanics, or the emotional narrative, it's an unforgettable experience that every gamer should experience. Little Nightmares 2 takes everything that made the original a psychological horror gem and refines it into a dark, atmospheric masterpiece that plays with your mind in ways few games manage to. As Mono, a young boy trapped in a world of distorted reality, you're not alone. 6, the iconic girl from the first game, joins you on your journey. This dynamic duo adds a new layer of depth to the gameplay, with their silent partnership playing out in ways that feel more like a dance than a traditional mechanic. The eerie silence, punctuated only by the sounds of your footsteps, heightens the tension throughout the game. The environments are a visual feast of nightmare fuel. From the unsettlingly twisted classrooms to the grotesque, towering figures that inhabit this warped world, the game nails that sense of dread and unease at every turn. Each new area you explore introduces new horrors, from creepy mannequins that come to life to nightmarish school teachers, and the game's visual storytelling allows you to fully immerse yourself without the need for excessive dialogue or exposition. The puzzles are creative and varied, making use of the environment and the two characters to solve them. The cooperation between Mono and 6, especially in moments when one helps the other to reach an otherwise inaccessible area, feels natural and fluid, making their relationship more poignant and intimate. The platforming mechanics are smooth, and while the game doesn't rely heavily on combat, when you do face enemies, the tension is palpable, often forcing you into desperate runs and stealth sequences to survive. The atmosphere is one of Little Nightmares 2's biggest strengths. The game oozes with tension, and the psychological horror elements are more than just cheap jump scares. It plays on your sense of isolation, fear of the unknown, and the deep, unsettling feeling that something's just not quite right. The minimalistic narrative narrative, combined with its haunting soundtrack and terrifying visuals, creates an experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll. In short, Little Nightmares 2 is a stunning sequel that deepens the themes of the first game while introducing new gameplay mechanics, all while maintaining that signature atmosphere of haunting tension and horror. It's a must-play for fans of psychological horror, puzzle solving, and anyone who enjoys a game that lingers in your mind long after you've finished it. Horizon Forbidden West is a triumph in open-world gaming, building on the foundation set by its predecessor and expanding it into a vast, visually stunning experience. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where nature has reclaimed the Earth, the game takes you on an unforgettable journey with Aloy as she ventures into the Forbidden West, a mysterious region filled with new dangers, robotic creatures, and breathtaking landscapes. The world is alive, with lush forests, desolate deserts, towering mountains, and ruined cities, all designed with meticulous attention to detail. It's a world you'll want to explore, not just because of the story, but because every corner offers something worth discovering. Combat remains one of the game's strongest suits. Aloy's mastery of her bow and the ability to craft various types of arrows, traps, and gadgets is a core part of the gameplay. But what really elevates the experience is the variety of machine foes you face. These robotic creatures, from the towering thunderjaws to the nimble snapmaws, each require a unique strategy to take down, forcing you to adapt your approach with every encounter. The game's battle system gives you the freedom to tackle these enemies in a number of ways, whether by going head-on with powerful weapons and traps, or using stealth and precision strikes to take them out silently. The progression system is highly rewarding, with skill trees that allow you to tailor Aloy's abilities to your playstyle. Whether you prefer to enhance your combat skills, increase your crafting options, or boost your exploration abilities, there's something for everyone. Aloy's interactions with the world and its inhabitants feel natural, and the narrative is more personal and emotionally driven than ever before, with deeper insights into her origins, the fate of humanity, and the ancient technologies that continue to threaten the world. One of the standout features of Forbidden West is its visual fidelity. The game is an absolute marvel, with lifelike character animations, photorealistic environments, and a dynamic weather system that keeps the world constantly evolving. Whether you're watching the sun set over the ocean or traversing through a stormy canyon, it's hard to deny the sheer beauty of the world Guerrilla Games has created. Horizon Forbidden West is a truly immersive, expansive adventure that refines its predecessor's mechanics and expands on them in every way possible. From its gripping story to its incredibly dynamic combat and stunning visuals, it's a game that sets a new standard for what open-world titles can achieve. If you're a fan of action RPGs, exploration, and beautifully crafted worlds, Forbidden West is an experience you absolutely cannot miss. MAFIA Definitive Edition is a masterful remake that pays homage to the original 2002 classic while modernizing it for a new generation. Set in the 1930s, the game takes you into the heart of the American underworld, where you step into the shoes of Tommy Angelo, a cab driver who is unwittingly pulled into the dangerous world of organized crime. The narrative is a gripping journey of loyalty, betrayal, and moral ambiguity, with a cast of memorable characters and a story that hooks you from start to finish. The standout feature of the remake is its incredible attention to detail. The developers have taken the original game's story and completely rebuilt it with cutting-edge graphics and technology, making it feel fresh while retaining the essence of the original. The world of Lost Heaven, a fictional city inspired by real-life Chicago, is brought to life in stunning detail, from the rain-soaked streets to the carefully recreated Art Deco buildings. Every inch of the city feels alive, and the environments are beautifully crafted, with an immersive atmosphere that feels straight out of a noir film. The gameplay, while familiar, has been significantly improved. The shooting mechanics, driving, and overall controls are far more fluid and modern compared to the original, making for a much smoother experience. The gunplay feels satisfying, and while you still get to drive around the open-world city, the driving model is more realistic, adding a layer of immersion as you navigate through period-accurate traffic and streets. It's not just about shooting and driving though. The game is steeped in story-driven missions, and the pacing feels tight, with a healthy mix of action and dialogue-driven sequences. The voice acting and music also stand out. The characters have more depth than ever before, thanks to a stellar cast of voice actors, and the original jazz-inspired soundtrack is a perfect fit for the period setting, enhancing the noir atmosphere. You feel like you're living through a classic mob film, complete with all the moral conflicts, tension, and unforgettable moments that come with it. While the game's world is technically an open-world environment, it's not as expansive as some modern games, but that doesn't detract from the experience. The story-driven approach ensures that you're always on the edge of your seat, and each mission feels purposeful, never like filler content. The game's pacing makes sure you stay engaged from start to finish. A Plague Tale, Innocence, is a hauntingly beautiful, emotional journey through a world ravaged by both human cruelty and supernatural forces. Set during the Black Death in 14th century France, the game follows siblings Amicia and Hugo as they try to survive in a brutal and unforgiving world. The story is deeply personal, centered on the bond between the two as they navigate through war-torn villages, treacherous landscapes, and cities overrun by the devastating plague and swarming rats. What sets A Plague Tale, Innocence, apart is its ability to combine stealth-based gameplay with narrative-driven adventure. It's not about brute force, it's about surviving through wit and resourcefulness. The game challenges you to think on your feet as you avoid or outsmart enemies, from soldiers of the Inquisition to massive hordes of plague-infested rats. The rats themselves are a unique threat, swarming in massive numbers. They consume anything in their path. The game's mechanics use light to your advantage, allowing you to manipulate the environment to either fend off or guide the rats, creating some intense and nerve-wracking moments. The storytelling in A Plague Tale, Innocence, is incredibly impactful. The relationship between Amicia and Hugo is the heart of the game, and their journey is one of survival, growth, and love in the face of unimaginable hardship. The emotional weight of the narrative is balanced perfectly with moments of tension, suspense, and occasional bursts of action, making for a deeply immersive experience. The game tackles themes of loss, guilt, and survival, without ever feeling melodramatic. It feels raw, real, and incredibly human. Visually, the game is a stunning achievement. The environments are meticulously detailed, from the bleak, plague-ridden countryside to the lush, overgrown forests. The lighting is expertly used to create mood and atmosphere, with dark, oppressive shadows giving way to moments of light that provide hope in an otherwise bleak world. The art direction is top-notch, with the ominous swarms of rats being a horrifying sight to behold, but one that's crafted with care and attention. Combat in A Plague Tale is not the main focus. It's more about survival. There are moments where you'll need to fight, but most of the time, you'll be using stealth, distraction, and your environment to outsmart or evade threats. The progression is subtle, with Amicia gaining new tools and abilities over time that help you navigate the increasingly difficult situations you face. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, is the definitive action-adventure game that perfectly wraps up the story of Nathan Drake, the charming yet flawed treasure hunter who has captivated gamers for years. Developed by Naughty Dog, this game pushes the boundaries of storytelling, gameplay, and visuals, creating one of the most memorable experiences in gaming history. It's the perfect conclusion to Nathan's journey, balancing heart-pounding action with deep emotional stakes. The story picks up years after the events of Uncharted 3, with Nathan Drake living a quieter life, having retired from the treasure hunting world. But when his long-lost brother Sam reappears, thrusting him back into the world of danger and intrigue, Nathan is forced to confront his past. The game's narrative is both a thrilling adventure and a deeply personal tale of family, loyalty, and redemption. The emotional depth of the story gives Nathan a sense of closure that feels earned and satisfying, making the action sequences even more impactful. The visuals in Uncharted 4 are absolutely stunning. It's one of the best-looking games of its generation, with incredibly detailed environments, lifelike character animations, and cinematic presentation. Every location you visit, from lush jungles and ruined temples to bustling cities, feels alive and rich with history. The attention to detail is breathtaking. The characters' facial expressions convey a depth of emotion, and the world itself feels as though it's been painstakingly crafted to make every moment visually awe-inspiring. Gameplay is as smooth and engaging as ever, blending exploration, puzzle-solving, and action into a seamless experience. The parkour-like movement system gives Nathan a fluidity that enhances both traversal and combat, allowing you to move through environments with agility and style. The gunplay is refined, with a variety of weapons at your disposal, and combat encounters are dynamic and strategic. The introduction of a grappling hook adds a new layer of verticality to the game, allowing for exciting new ways to approach both exploration and combat. The game's pacing is near perfect, with a mix of exhilarating action sequences, thoughtful puzzle solving, and quiet, reflective moments that allow you to connect with the characters and story. The addition of multiplayer modes is a nice bonus, offering fast-paced, action-packed gameplay for those who want to compete online. It Takes Two is a brilliant, genre-defining cooperative adventure that takes everything you know about co-op gaming and flips it on its head. It's a perfect showcase of how powerful co-op gameplay can be, offering a deeply engaging narrative, creative mechanics, and mind-bending puzzles that will have you both thinking on your feet. The story follows Cody and May, a married couple on the verge of divorce, who are magically transformed into tiny dolls and must work through their relationship issues in order to return to their human forms. It's an emotional roller coaster, with the game balancing humor, heart, and some genuinely touching moments. What's remarkable is how the game's narrative is reflected in its gameplay. As Cody and May tackle challenges that test their teamwork, they also learn more about each other, their flaws, and the ways they can rebuild their relationship. The story is rich with humor, but also filled with heart-wrenching moments that will resonate deeply with anyone who has experienced personal struggles or relationships. The gameplay in It Takes Two is an absolute joy. Every level introduces new mechanics that require both players to collaborate in unique and sometimes unexpected ways. From navigating through a garden of oversized plants to controlling the power of the elements, or even taking on the form of different characters entirely, the game's puzzles and challenges constantly evolve, keeping the experience fresh and exciting. The level design is wonderfully creative, with every new environment offering something new to discover and experiment with. It's not just about solving puzzles, but doing so in a way that highlights the need for true cooperation between players. One of the standout features of It Takes Two is how the game continuously pushes the boundaries of co-op gameplay. Each player has a distinct role, and every puzzle or challenge is designed in such a way that neither player can succeed alone. The dynamic between the two characters is constantly changing, meaning there's no feeling of repetition or stagnation. From platforming segments to combat sequences, everything is built around the idea of teamwork. The game also encourages creativity in how you approach each challenge, offering multiple ways to solve puzzles and tackle enemies. The voice acting and soundtrack also shine, with both Cody and May voiced perfectly, bringing their personalities and the emotional weight of their journey to life. The soundtrack complements the tone of the game beautifully, adding another layer to the experience. Metro Exodus is an epic journey through a post-apocalyptic Russia that beautifully blends first-person shooting, survival horror, and deep narrative storytelling. If you're looking for a game that combines atmospheric storytelling, tense combat, and an immersive world, Metro Exodus is a must-play. The game takes place in the aftermath of a nuclear war, where humanity's remnants live in the underground metro tunnels of Moscow. Unlike the earlier Metro games, Exodus opens up the world, offering a sprawling journey across the Russian wasteland. You play as Artyom, a hardened survivor who, along with a band of companions, sets off in search of a new life beyond the metro, hoping to find other survivors and escape the horrors of the underground. This sense of hope and exploration is central to the game's narrative, and it's a departure from the claustrophobic, tunnel-based horror of previous titles. One of the standout features of Metro Exodus is its open-world environments. While the series was once known for its linear, tunnel-like levels, Exodus introduces large, open landscapes to explore. Each new area is unique, with different climates, factions, and wildlife to encounter. Whether you're trekking across a desolate desert, fighting through snowstorms in the Russian wilderness, or exploring abandoned cities, each new location feels like a living, breathing world, full of hidden secrets and dangerous threats. The transition to a more open world is seamless and feels natural, not forced. Yet, the game still maintains that signature Metro atmosphere: dark, foreboding, and oppressive. The combat in Metro Exodus is a perfect blend of first-person shooting and survival mechanics. The game features a variety of weapons, each customizable to suit your playstyle, and ammo is scarce, adding a layer of tension and strategy. You'll often find yourself scavenging for supplies and carefully planning your approach to combat, whether you're stealthily taking out enemies or going in guns blazing. The AI is smart and adaptive, and combat encounters are often thrilling and unpredictable. Another significant aspect of the game is its storytelling and character development. The plot is deep and personal, with Artyom and his crew forming meaningful relationships over the course of the journey. The game doesn't just throw you into a world of chaos and violence. It explores the emotional cost of survival, the sacrifices made, and the toll the wasteland takes on the characters. The narrative choices you make along the way, especially in the dialogue and interactions with other survivors, have real consequences, making your journey feel both personal and impactful. HELLBLADE: Senua's Sacrifice is a haunting and visceral experience that pushes the boundaries of what video games can achieve in terms of storytelling, emotional depth, and psychological exploration. Developed by Ninja Theory, this action-adventure game immerses you in the troubled mind of Senua, a Celtic warrior on a quest to save the soul of her dead lover, Dillion, while battling through a hellish world distorted by her mental illness. It's a game that delves into themes of trauma, grief, and psychosis in a way that is raw, powerful, and often unsettling. The story is centered around Senua's personal journey as she enters the Norse underworld of Helheim to confront the goddess Hela. However, the twist is that Senua suffers from severe psychosis, and the game does an extraordinary job of putting players in her shoes, offering an intimate and often uncomfortable perspective of mental illness. As you progress through the game, Senua's hallucinations, delusions, and inner demons manifest in the form of visual and auditory cues. The game uses binaural audio, which creates a deeply immersive sound experience that mimics the feeling of voices echoing in your mind, heightening the psychological tension. It's a portrayal of mental illness that is both respectful and deeply engrossing, adding a layer of complexity to the game that most other titles can't match. The gameplay itself is a mix of puzzle solving, exploration, and and brutal combat. The combat is a fluid and satisfying system, focusing on fast-paced, precision strikes and parries. SENUA'S movements feel fluid and weighty, giving each fight a sense of intensity and urgency. However, the real heart of the gameplay lies in the puzzles that you encounter along the way. These puzzles, often involving the manipulation of the environment and the use of light and shadow, are woven seamlessly into the narrative, creating a unique blend of challenge and immersion. Visually, HELLBLADE, SENUA'S Sacrifice, is nothing short of breathtaking. The environments are hauntingly beautiful, from the mist-filled landscapes of Helheim to the dark, claustrophobic areas inside SENUA'S mind. The character models are incredibly detailed, and SENUA'S facial expressions, in particular, convey an emotional depth rarely seen in video game characters. The use of lighting and color is particularly effective in creating a dreamlike atmosphere that shifts between beauty and horror as you progress through the game. What truly sets HELLBLADE apart is its ability to blend gameplay with a narrative that feels deeply personal and profound. It's a game that doesn't shy away from exploring difficult and painful themes. It offers an unflinching look at the impact of mental illness on the individual, and it treats SENUA'S condition with care and respect while never sensationalizing it. The emotional payoff is earned through the intimate connection you form with SENUA and her quest. Stray is a unique and charming journey that combines exploration, puzzle solving, and a touch of feline whimsy, offering an experience that feels like no other. What sets Stray apart is its ability to blend a deep emotional narrative with the natural curiosity and agility of a cat, all while introducing innovative gameplay mechanics and a visually stunning world. The story follows a stray cat that, after getting separated from its family, stumbles into a decaying, robot-infested city. As the cat, you'll explore this futuristic metropolis in search of a way to reunite with your family, all while unraveling the mysteries behind the city's downfall and its robotic inhabitants. The narrative is subtly woven into the environment, with the world itself telling much of the story. From the ruins of a once thriving human civilization to the robotic citizens who now occupy the space, Stray creates an immersive world full of secrets waiting to be discovered. The gameplay is where Stray truly shines. As a cat, you're naturally agile, capable of jumping, climbing, and squeezing into tight spaces that would be impossible for a human character. These feline abilities make for some smooth and enjoyable traversal across the city's rooftops, alleys, and underground areas. The platforming is intuitive, allowing you to feel like a cat as you leap effortlessly between buildings, balance on narrow beams, or squeeze through vents to access hidden areas. The sense of freedom and movement is one of the game's standout features, capturing the spirit of being a cat in a way that feels both authentic and satisfying. The interactions with the environment are also inspired by cat-like behavior. You can meow, nuzzle up to NPCs, and even curl up to sleep when you find a safe spot. These moments of quiet, simple pleasure add a layer of charm and personality to the character, making the cat feel alive and relatable. The game does a fantastic job of capturing the playful yet independent nature of cats, with every action feeling like something your cat would instinctively do in real life. Visually, Stray is stunning. The cyberpunk city is beautifully crafted, with neon lights, towering skyscrapers, and decaying ruins blending together to create an atmosphere of both beauty and isolation. The attention to detail in the environments is impressive, with the cat's small size allowing you to explore hidden nooks and crannies that feel alive and detailed. The game's lighting effects, especially the neon glow and reflections, give the city a dreamlike quality that is both haunting and mesmerizing. The sound design also plays a crucial role in immersing you in this world. The ambient sounds of the city, from the hum of machinery to the soft meows and purring of the cat, create an atmosphere that feels both tranquil and tense, depending on where you are in the world. The music complements the game's tone, shifting between calm moments of exploration and more intense sequences when danger is near. Detroit: Become Human is a narrative-driven adventure game from Quantic Dream that immerses you in a futuristic world where androids are becoming more advanced and increasingly integrated into society. Set in the year 2038, the game explores profound themes of artificial intelligence, consciousness, and civil rights, offering a thought-provoking narrative that constantly challenges your ethical decisions. It's a story about the intersection of humanity and technology, and how the definition of what it means to be human is continually evolving. You take control of three distinct characters: Kara, a housekeeping android who gains self-awareness and escapes from an abusive owner; Connor, a highly advanced android designed to hunt down malfunctioning androids; and Marcus, a caretaker android who leads a revolution to free his kind from oppression. Each of these characters provides a unique perspective on the android-human relationship, and their stories interweave to create a compelling narrative where every choice you make influences the outcome of the game. The most notable feature of Detroit: Become Human is its branching narrative. Your decisions, big and small, impact the course of the story and ultimately determine the fates of the characters and the world they inhabit. The game offers a level of player agency that is rare in many titles, allowing you to shape the outcome of both individual individual characters' arcs and the overall political climate of the world. This high degree of choice makes each playthrough feel unique, as the consequences of your decisions can have wide-reaching effects. The game's narrative is rich with moral ambiguity. The androids are presented as beings that are both more and less than human. They possess advanced AI, but they're still treated as mere tools by society. The game pushes players to consider difficult questions about sentience, empathy, and the rights of artificial beings. Should androids be treated as equals or as possessions? When does a machine become conscious? These ethical dilemmas are central to the game's plot and serve as a mirror to many real-world issues surrounding civil rights and social justice. The facial animations are incredibly detailed, capturing the subtleties of human expression in a way that is often unervingly lifelike. The environments are richly designed, from the high-tech streets of Detroit to the intimate, sometimes bleak interiors of the characters' homes. The attention to detail in the world building and character design makes the world of Detroit become human, feel alive and believable, and it immerses you in the futuristic setting in a way that feels both cutting-edge and eerily familiar. The gameplay is a mix of interactive storytelling, quick-time events, and exploration. During conversations and critical moments, you'll be prompted to make choices that can affect the narrative direction. The game's mechanics are designed to keep you engaged with its story, as you're often faced with time-sensitive decisions that add tension to key moments. The quick-time events, though familiar, are used effectively to increase the stakes of important scenes. While the gameplay isn't focused on combat, when action does occur, it's intense and exhilarating, often requiring quick reflexes and smart decision-making. What truly sets Detroit Become Human apart is the emotional engagement it offers. The game builds its characters carefully, making you care deeply about the androids and their struggles. Whether it's Kara trying to protect a young girl or Marcus fighting for android freedom, you'll find yourself emotionally invested in their fates. The game doesn't shy away from heavy, thought-provoking content, but it balances these themes with moments of hope, solidarity, and the human desire for freedom and equality. Cyberpunk 2077 is a bold and ambitious open-world RPG that plunges you into the neon-lit dystopian world of Night City. Set in the year 2077, the game offers an expansive, chaotic environment where corporations reign supreme, and the lines between man and machine are often blurred. Though its release was marred by technical issues, the game has since undergone significant improvements and continues to be a standout example of futuristic storytelling, player freedom, and gritty world building. At its core, Cyberpunk 2077 places you in the shoes of V, a customizable character who can be shaped to fit various playstyles, whether through hacking, combat, or a mix of both. The story begins with V attempting to make their mark in Night City, a sprawling metropolis filled with corruption, danger, and intrigue. As the story unfolds, V must navigate both physical and digital worlds, facing moral dilemmas, dangerous enemies, and the ever-present pressure of time as they seek to free themselves from Johnny's digital ghost and discover the secrets of the city. The strength of Cyberpunk 2077 lies in its world building. Night City is a sprawling, vibrant, and often grim city that feels alive and reactive to the player's actions. The game features a dense urban environment full of side quests, NPCs with their own stories, and a deeply immersive atmosphere. From the flashy neon lights of Watson to the rundown streets of Santo Domingo, each district in the city has its own identity, culture, and set of problems. The level of detail in the environment is impressive, with every corner of the city brimming with life, lore, and things to discover. Whether it's the music playing in a nightclub, the conversations you overhear in the streets, or the personal struggles of the residents, every detail contributes to making Night City feel like a believable, lived-in world. Combat is an exhilarating mix of fast-paced action and tactical decision-making. Whether you prefer long-range weapons, hacking, or getting up close with melee combat, Cyberpunk 2077 offers a wide range of tools and techniques to take on your enemies. The gunplay is satisfying, with a variety of weapons at your disposal, each feeling distinct in its handling and impact. The AI is capable of making firefights intense, but the real fun comes from taking advantage of the city's infrastructure, using security systems, environmental hazards, and your own abilities to gain the upper hand. The game's visuals are a spectacle. Night City's neon lights, towering skyscrapers, and dark alleyways are beautifully designed, creating a striking contrast between the bright, colorful advertisements and the gritty, often dangerous underbelly of the city. The character models are highly detailed, with impressive animations and lifelike facial expressions that enhance the game's emotional moments. While the game has had its share of technical issues at launch, updates and patches have significantly improved performance and stability, making it a much smoother experience for players. Resident Evil 4 Remake refines the original while retaining its core strengths. Leon S. Kennedy is sent to rescue the U.S. president's daughter, Ashley, from a rural Spanish village plagued by a cult. The game delivers intense survival horror gameplay with a mix of action, puzzle solving, and resource management. The visuals are stunning, with rich, atmospheric environments and highly detailed character models. The third-person combat system is fluid, featuring improved controls, a crouch mechanic, and responsive dodging. Enemies, especially the cult members, are smarter, using tactics to outflank you, making every encounter feel intense and unpredictable. The story is tighter, with more character depth for Leon and Ashley, and the expanded lore makes the world feel more cohesive. The action is complemented by a haunting soundtrack and excellent voice acting. Overall, Resident Evil 4 Remake is a modernized version of a classic, improving upon the original's mechanics and visuals, while maintaining the essence of what made it great. If you enjoy survival horror, this is a must-play. Grand Theft Auto V is Rockstar Games' pinnacle of open-world action, blending an expansive city, dynamic gameplay, and an intricate story. Set in the fictional city of Los Santos, based on Los Angeles, it follows three protagonists: Michael, a retired bank robber; Trevor, his unstable former partner; and Franklin, a street-smart hustler. Their lives intertwine through high-octane heists, personal drama, and encounters with the criminal underworld. The game's open world is vast and alive, with everything from the bustling streets of Los Santos to the tranquil countryside. The attention to detail is unparalleled, from traffic patterns to the radio stations, making the city feel authentic and immersive. Gameplay-wise, Grand Theft Auto V offers seamless character switching between the three protagonists, allowing you to approach missions in different ways. The combat and driving mechanics are refined, offering a smooth and enjoyable experience, whether you're in the middle of a firefight or racing through the streets. The story is well-paced, with memorable characters and dialogue. The interactions between Michael, Trevor, and Franklin create a unique dynamic, making their relationships feel grounded and complex. Overall, Grand Theft Auto V is an iconic game that combines deep storytelling with the chaotic fun the series is known for. Whether you're completing missions, exploring, or engaging in random activities, Grand Theft Auto V offers endless entertainment. It remains a standout example of what modern open-world games can achieve. Kingdom Come: Deliverance is an immersive, story-driven RPG set in 15th century Bohemia, offering a gritty and realistic medieval experience. Developed by Warhorse Studios, it stands out for its attention to historical accuracy and its refusal to embrace fantasy elements, offering a raw, unfiltered look at the challenges of life in the Middle Ages. You play as Henry, the son of a blacksmith, who is thrust into a world of political intrigue, war, and personal vengeance after his village is destroyed. The story unfolds with a mix of personal questlines and a larger, historically inspired narrative, as Henry navigates the political turmoil of the time. The game's open world is meticulously designed, with sprawling forests, villages, and castles that feel authentic. The lack of fast travel means you're truly immersed in the world, and the realistic movement, combat, and survival mechanics make every interaction feel grounded. The combat system is one of the game's highlights. It's complex, skill-based, and takes time to master, offering a level of depth rarely seen in RPGs. Aside from the combat, the game features a deep leveling system, crafting, hunting, and a dynamic day-night cycle that influences gameplay. Quests are often non-linear, offering multiple ways to approach situations, whether through combat, diplomacy, or stealth. Kingdom Come: Deliverance is for players who enjoy detailed, slow-burn RPGs that emphasize realism and immersion. While it may not appeal to those who prefer arcade-style action, its attention to detail, rich story, and historical authenticity make it a standout in the RPG genre. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim is a landmark RPG from Bethesda, offering a massive open world filled with quests, lore, and freedom of choice. Set in the northern province of Tamriel, Skyrim places you in the role of the Dragonborn, a hero destined to save the world from an ancient dragon apocalypse. The game's open world is its biggest strength, with breathtaking landscapes ranging from snow-covered mountains to dense forests, all brimming with life. The world feels alive, with hundreds of locations to explore, from cities and towns to dungeons and hidden caves. The main story is engaging, but Skyrim's true beauty lies in its side quests and factions. Whether you join the Thieves' Guild, fight as a member of the Companions, or explore the College of Winterhold, there's no shortage of content to keep you busy. Combat is dynamic and customizable. You can play as a warrior, mage, or rogue, or mix and match skills to create a unique build. The Dragon Shout mechanic adds a powerful layer to combat, allowing you to unleash elemental abilities against foes. Skyrim also excels in its progression system. As you level up, you gain skill points in specific areas, giving you the freedom to develop your character exactly how you want. From sneaking past enemies to using powerful magic, the game supports a variety of playstyles. The modding community has also kept the game alive for years, constantly adding new content, improving visuals, and creating unique experiences that extend the game's lifespan even further. Overall, Skyrim is an RPG masterpiece that provides an unforgettable experience for both casual players and RPG enthusiasts. Its vast world, engaging lore, and endless customization make it a must-play for any gamer. Elden Ring is a monumental achievement in open-world RPGs. Developed, set in the lands between, players take on the role of the Tarnished, a mysterious warrior chosen to seek the shattered fragments of the Elden Ring and claim the title of Elden Lord. The game's world is stunningly vast and open, with environments that range from lush forests and rolling plains to desolate castles and nightmarish landscapes. Exploration is key, and every corner of the world holds secrets, from hidden dungeons to powerful bosses. The combat system, familiar to From Software fans, is brutal and precise. It's a mix of the Soulsborne formula, with slower, more deliberate strikes, intricate dodging, and tactical enemy encounters. But Elden Ring introduces more freedom in how you approach combat. Whether you favor swordplay, magic, or even summoning powerful allies, the game lets you experiment and find your own style. Boss fights are legendary in their difficulty and creativity, often requiring multiple attempts to understand attack patterns and exploit weaknesses. What sets Elden Ring apart from its predecessors is its open-world design. Unlike the linear hub-based structure of Dark Souls, the lands between is fully open, with no clear path. There's no hand-holding here. You're encouraged to explore, discover, and piece together the story at your own pace. Dynamic day-night cycles, weather effects, and random encounters with powerful enemies make the world feel alive and ever-changing. Elden Ring also introduces a seamless multiplayer experience, where players can invade each other's worlds or team up to tackle challenging bosses. This feature enhances the sense of unpredictability and adds replayability to the already vast experience. In short, Elden Ring is a groundbreaking game that pushes the boundaries of open-world design, combining the challenge and intricacy of From Software's past titles with a sprawling world that rewards curiosity. It's not for the faint-hearted, but for those who enjoy deep, immersive worlds, brutal difficulty, and the satisfaction of overcoming seemingly impossible odds. Elden Ring is a must-play. The Last of Us Part 2 is a bold and emotionally intense sequel that pushes the boundaries of storytelling in video games. Developed by Naughty Dog, it continues the journey of Ellie, set 5 years after the events of the first game. The story dives deep into themes of vengeance, loss, and morality, exploring the consequences of violence and the choices people make in an unforgiving post-apocalyptic world. The game's narrative is its core strength, featuring an unpredictable and emotionally charged plot. Without diving into spoilers, it challenges players to empathize with characters on both sides of the conflict, blurring the lines between good and evil. It's a mature, thought-provoking experience that forces you to question your own views on revenge and justice. Gameplay-wise, The Last of Us Part 2 refines the mechanics of its predecessor while introducing new elements. The combat is intense and fluid, with stealth, gunplay, and brutal melee attacks all integrated into tense encounters. The addition of new movement mechanics, such as prone crawling and a more expansive environment for exploration, gives players more options in how to approach situations. The environments are richly detailed, from dilapidated cities to lush forests, and the level of visual fidelity is jaw-dropping. The game's graphics, animation, and voice acting are top-tier, creating a truly cinematic experience. Every encounter, whether it's a combat situation or a quiet moment of exploration, is beautifully crafted to evoke emotions and draw you deeper into the world. While the game has been divisive for some, especially in terms of its story choices, there's no denying its impact on the medium. The Last of Us Part 2 is a powerful, challenging, and immersive experience that redefines what video games can achieve in terms of narrative depth and emotional weight. If you're looking for a game that's as much an emotional journey as it is a thrilling adventure, this is one you don't want to miss. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is a monumental RPG that set a new standard for open-world games. It follows Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter, as he searches for his adopted daughter Ciri, who is being pursued by the mysterious Wild Hunt. The story is deeply rooted in Slavic mythology, with mature themes and complex character relationships, making it a rich and immersive experience. The world of The Witcher 3 is vast and incredibly detailed, from the war-torn regions of Wieland to the beautiful, bustling streets of Novigrad and the frozen expanse of Skellige. The environment feels alive, with dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and a variety of creatures and NPCs that make the world feel real. The world-building is masterful, and each area has its own unique story to tell through main quests, side quests, and random encounters. Combat is a mix of swordplay, magic, and alchemy. Geralt's combat abilities are fluid, with a deep skill tree that allows you to craft a playstyle that suits your preferences. You can combine fast fast and heavy attacks, use signs to control the battlefield, and craft bombs, potions, and traps to take down enemies. The battles are satisfying, whether you're fighting a pack of monsters or engaging in a boss fight with one of the game's many legendary creatures. The narrative is exceptional, with branching storylines that allow for meaningful choices that affect the world and your relationships with key characters. The dialogue is well written, with moral ambiguity in many of the decisions you make. The characters, including Geralt, Yennefer, Triss, and the infamous Dandelion, are all incredibly well developed, and the relationships between them feel genuine. Side quests are far from filler. Many are as engaging as the main story, with deep lore, memorable characters, and impactful choices. The Witcher contracts, in particular, offer a range of monster hunting challenges that let you use Geralt's tracking and investigative skills to solve mysteries. The expansions Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine are both phenomenal, adding even more depth to the world and story. Blood and Wine is especially noteworthy for its new region, TSUSHIMA, which is vibrant and full of life compared to the grimness of the base game. Overall, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is a masterclass in RPG design. It offers a rich, immersive world, deeply engaging combat, a story full of twists and turns, and a host of characters and quests that make it an unforgettable experience. Whether you're a fan of fantasy, story-driven games, or open-world exploration, The Witcher 3 is a must-play. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an epic open-world action-adventure set in the fading days of the American Wild West. It's a game that blends gripping storytelling, breathtaking visuals, and unparalleled attention to detail, creating an experience that feels alive and immersive. The story focuses on Arthur's personal journey, the decline of the outlaw life, and the ever-increasing pressure of lawmen and rival factions. The narrative is deeply emotional, rich with character development and choices that impact the plot. Arthur's internal struggle with loyalty, redemption, and his past is poignant, creating an experience that goes beyond just a Western adventure. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the most detailed and immersive ever created. From lush forests and snow-covered mountains to dusty plains and bustling towns, every corner of the map is brimming with life. Animals roam the landscape, and NPCs go about their day-to-day activities, creating a dynamic world that responds to your actions. The level of realism is astounding. The game features a day-night cycle, dynamic weather, and a living, breathing ecosystem, making every moment feel natural and alive. The gameplay itself is a perfect balance of exploration, combat, and interaction. Gunfights are intense and require tactical thinking, and the game's aiming mechanics are satisfying and responsive. Horseback riding is essential, and the bond you build with your horse is one of the most unique aspects of the game. You'll also engage in hunting, fishing, and even participating in various side activities like poker, treasure hunting, and bounty hunting. One of the most remarkable aspects of Red Dead Redemption 2 is its attention to detail. Whether it's the way characters respond to your actions, the time it takes to cook a meal, or the way Arthur's interactions with the environment evolve, everything is meticulously designed to draw you deeper into the world. The voice acting, facial animations, and cinematic presentation are top-notch, creating some of the most memorable moments in gaming. The game also offers a rich online component in Red Dead Online, where players can engage in a variety of activities, from heists and shootouts to fishing and hunting, in the same vast world as the single-player campaign. In conclusion, Red Dead Redemption 2 is not just a game, it's an experience. With its compelling narrative, vast and living world, complex characters, and groundbreaking realism, it sets a new standard for open-world storytelling. Whether you're a fan of westerns or simply appreciate a well-crafted game, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a must-play masterpiece.